What if I told you the greatest thief of your life isn't failure, it isn't heartbreak, it isn't rejection, it's wasted time. You don't notice it at first. It slips away in small doses, like sand falling through your fingers. 10 minutes scrolling here, an hour numbing yourself there, weeks spent waiting for things to change on their own. And before you realize it, months are gone. Years are gone. Dreams are gone. Don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life. I often remind people. But most of us do exactly that. We live on repeat, same mistakes, same excuses, same distractions, different days, but the same story. And while we wait for life to magically shift, time quietly passes us by. Think about the heartbreak you've endured. How many nights did you spend replaying old memories, drowning in what ifs, instead of moving forward? Think about the failures that crushed you. How many months did you waste convincing yourself you weren't good enough, instead of trying again? Think about the dreams you had years ago. How many of them are still waiting, untouched, because you kept telling yourself you'd start tomorrow? The truth is, wasted time doesn't just steal your hours, it steals your future. Every moment you give to distraction is a moment you'll never get back. Every second you waste living in the past is a second stolen from your future self. And that theft adds up. I remember meeting someone who told me, "Jay, I don't know where the last 5 years went." He said it with a broken smile, but his eyes were heavy with regret. 5 years of waiting, hesitating, procrastinating. 5 years lost to comfort zones and excuses. And here's the thing, you can replace money, you can rebuild relationships, you can restart careers. But you cannot get your time back. Don't waste your time on people who don't value it, and don't waste it on habits that don't serve you. That's a lesson I've had to learn myself. Because every wasted moment is a moment that could have been invested in healing, growing, building, living. And yet, wasting time feels easy. It feels comfortable. It feels safe. That's why so many people stay stuck. You wake up, go through the motions, distract yourself from the emptiness, and tell yourself tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow isn't different. It's just another yesterday disguised as a new day. What's scarier than failure is realizing you never even tried. What's heavier than heartbreak is realizing you stayed broken when you had the chance to heal. What's worse than rejection is realizing you rejected yourself every day by wasting the time that could have built the life you wanted. Let me ask you something. If you keep living the way you're living right now, where will you be in 5 years? Will you be closer to your purpose or further away? Will you be healed or still carrying the same wounds? Will you be proud of the way you used your time or haunted by how much of it you lost? Time is the only resource we spend but can never earn back. And every day you delay, every moment you waste, you're not just losing time, you're losing life. But here's the truth you need to hear. It doesn't have to stay this way. You don't have to keep surrendering your life to distraction and regret. There is a habit, a single, powerful habit, that can save you years of wasted time. A habit that will stop you from living on autopilot and start you on the path of intentional living. And once you know it, once you practice it, you'll realize you've had the power all along to reclaim your time, to rewrite your story, to rebuild your future. Your new life will cost you your old one, and your old life was built on wasted time. The question is, are you ready to pay that cost? Because if you are, then the thief of wasted time loses its grip on you forever. And that's when everything begins to change. But before I reveal the habit that can save you, you need to see something clearly. The myths you've been living by, the lies about time that have trapped you in cycles of waste. Until you break free from those illusions, you'll always risk losing years without even realizing it. And those myths, they're more dangerous than you think. We don't just waste time because we're careless. We waste time because we believe lies about it. Lies that sound logical, even comforting, but slowly drain our lives away. And the cruelest part, most people never realize these myths are what's holding them hostage. The first myth is this: business equals productivity. How many of us fill our days with endless tasks, yet lie awake at night, feeling like we accomplished nothing? We confuse activity with progress. We mistake motion for meaning. We believe if we're busy, we're moving forward. But here's the truth: being busy doesn't mean you're building your future. It only means you're distracting yourself from it. Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. I often remind people, because business gives you the illusion of importance while quietly robbing you of impact. You can spend years checking boxes, answering emails, running errands, and still wake up realizing you've been running in circles. The second myth is this: multitasking makes you efficient. We've been told we can do it all at once: reply to a message, scroll social media half, listen to a podcast, and still get meaningful work done. But multitasking isn't efficiency, it's division. Every time you split your attention, you dilute your focus. And where focus goes, energy flows. The result: your energy scatters, your progress stalls, and your dreams slip further away. I once read a study that said it takes over 20 minutes to refocus after a distraction. Think about how many times your phone pulls you away each day. That's hours stolen from your purpose. That's days wasted. That's months gone. Comfort tells you multitasking is smart. Growth reveals it's sabotage. The third myth is this: waiting for the right time is wisdom. We tell ourselves we'll start tomorrow. We'll heal when we're ready. We'll chase the dream when things settle down. But here's the reality: life never slows down. The stars never align. There is no perfect time. The right time is always now. Don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow is promised to no one. I've repeated this truth to people who thought they had endless time. The tragedy? Some never got their tomorrow. Waiting feels safe, but it's the most dangerous comfort of all. Because the more you wait, the heavier the chains of inaction become. And then there's the fourth myth, one most people never admit out loud: comfort equals safety. We stay in dead-end jobs because the paycheck feels secure. We stay in toxic relationships because loneliness feels unbearable. We stay in the same routine because change feels terrifying. But the safety you think you've found is just a cage dressed up as stability. Comfort is not safety, it's stagnation. I remember speaking to someone who spent years in a relationship that drained them. They told me, "At least I knew what to expect." But knowing what to expect is not living, it's existing. Real life begins when you dare to step into uncertainty. Because what feels like risk is often the doorway to freedom. The myths we cling to are comforting because they excuse us. If business is productivity, then we can avoid facing the emptiness. If multitasking is efficiency, then we can avoid confronting our scattered minds. If waiting is wisdom, then we can avoid the pain of failure. If comfort is safety, then we can avoid the fear of change. But here's the truth that will shatter the illusion. Every myth you believe about time is costing you life. While you cling to lies, your future slips away. While you stay distracted, your purpose fades. While you play safe, your soul grows restless. So how do you break free? First, you expose the lie. You stop glorifying business. You stop confusing distraction with progress. You stop waiting for tomorrow. You stop calling your cage safety. You confront the truth, even if it hurts. Truth is not always comfortable, but it always sets you free. I remind myself when I face my own illusions. And once you face the truth, you can finally see clearly. Imagine this years from now, you're looking back on your life. Will you be proud of how you used your time, or broken by how much you wasted? Will you say, I was busy? Or will you say, I was present? Will you say, I waited? Or will you say, I lived? The myths of wasted time are powerful, but only if you believe them. Once you break the spell, you reclaim your time, your energy, your future. And this is where it gets real. Because if myths steal your time, then habits can save it. There is one habit, simple yet transformative, that cuts through the illusions, destroys the distractions, and anchors you to what truly matters. It's not about doing more. It's not about rushing harder. It's about one intentional practice that can save you years of wasted time. The question is, are you ready to learn it? There is one habit that can transform the way you live, the way you heal, and the way you spend every precious minute of your life. It's not complicated. It's not flashy. It doesn't require money, talent, or status. But it has the power to save you years of wasted time. The habit is this daily intentional reflection. I know, it sounds simple, almost too simple. But simplicity is deceptive. Because most people go their entire lives without pausing, without reflecting, without asking themselves, am I living the life I actually want? Your new life is going to cost you your old one. I often say, and reflection is where you decide if your old life is worth keeping. Here's how it works. Every day, you carve out just a few quiet minutes to step back and ask yourself, where did my time go today? Did I spend it on what matters, or did I waste it on what doesn't? This habit seems small, but it builds awareness. And awareness is the foundation of change. Because you cannot fix what you do not see. Think about it. How many people go through a breakup and spend months drowning in old memories, scrolling through photos, replaying conversations, instead of reflecting on the lessons? They waste time clinging to what's gone, when reflection could free them to heal faster and love better. How many people fail at a job, a business, or a dream, and waste years blaming themselves, blaming others, instead of reflecting on the experience? They waste time stuck in shame, when reflection could reveal the wisdom they need to rise again. Daily intentional reflection isn't about dwelling on the past. It's about learning from it. It turns pain into perspective. It transforms failure into fuel. It converts wasted time into wisdom. When I was living as a monk, reflection was our daily anchor. At the end of each day, we ask, did I live with purpose today? Did I act with kindness? Did I honor my time? It was uncomfortable sometimes, facing our flaws and wasted hours. But it was also liberating. Because reflection didn't just show us where we failed, it showed us where we could grow. And here's the beauty: reflection creates alignment. Without it, you live reactively, pulled by distractions, tossed by emotions, dragged by circumstances. But with it, you live intentionally. You choose your actions. You direct your time. You design your life. Don't let your days just happen to you. I remind people, make your days happen for you. And this habit is how you do that. Here's a simple way to practice it. At the end of the day, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I spend most of my time on today? Did those things bring me closer to or further from who I want to be? What will I do differently tomorrow? That's it. 3 questions. But the answers, they can transform your entire life. Think about someone who's failing in life, feeling lost, broken, rejected. Without reflection, they drown in confusion. But with reflection, they begin to see the patterns. They realize which habits keep them stuck. They notice the choices that drain them. They uncover the moments they gave away their power. And with that awareness comes clarity. With clarity comes direction. With direction comes healing. Reflection is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. Without it, you keep repeating cycles. With it, you break them. But here's the truth. You won't always want to reflect, because reflection forces you to face yourself. It shows you the time you wasted, the opportunities you ignored, the relationships you stayed in too long, and that can sting. But that sting is what saves you. That sting is what wakes you up. Pain is a teacher disguised in discomfort. I remind myself often, reflection doesn't create the pain, it reveals it. And once revealed, pain becomes wisdom. Imagine this. You've been pouring years into the wrong career, but you never stop to reflect, so you stay. You've been giving your heart to someone who doesn't value it, but you never stop to reflect, so you stay. You've been numbing your days with distractions, but you never stop to reflect, so you stay. Years pass, decades pass, and one day you wonder why your life feels empty. Now imagine this instead every day. You reflect. You notice early when a relationship drains you. You notice quickly when a job no longer aligns with your purpose. You notice daily when distractions steal your time. And instead of wasting years, you course correct in days. That's the power of reflection. It compresses the timeline of growth. And the truth is, this habit compounds. A single day of reflection may shift your perspective. A week of reflection may change your habits. A month of reflection may alter your direction. A year of reflection can transform your entire life. But here's the catch. Reflection is only powerful if you act on it. Too many people reflect, but don't change. They notice the problem, but don't move. They see the truth, but don't live it. And so their reflections become regrets. That's why I call reflection the beginning, not the end. It's the spark, but you must be the fire. So how do you make sure reflection saves your time and not just exposes it? You pair it with courage. The courage to make adjustments. The courage to cut what no longer serves you. The courage to take the leap you've been postponing. Don't just reflect on your life. Redirect it. I tell those who feel stuck. Because reflection without action is just awareness. Reflection with action is transformation. And this habit, when practiced daily with courage, can save you years. Years of heartbreak by teaching you to leave earlier. Years of failure by teaching you to learn faster. Years of wandering by teaching you to walk with intention. This is the habit that changes everything. It's the shield against wasted time. It's the anchor that keeps you steady. It's the mirror that reveals the truth. And it's the compass that points you forward. But even this habit has a weakness. Because reflection without the right mindset can become self-pity. It can trap you in the past instead of propelling you into the future. That's why there's one more piece. The mindset that makes reflection powerful. The mindset that turns awareness into freedom. And without it, even the best habit will fail. The habit of reflection can save you years, but only if you carry it with the right mindset. Without the right mindset, reflection turns into rumination. Instead of freeing you, it traps you. Instead of guiding you forward, it pulls you back. That's why the final key isn't just what you do, it's how you think. The mindset of growth and freedom begins with this truth: time is your life. Every minute you waste is not just a number on a clock, it's a piece of your story, a fragment of your destiny, a breath you'll never breathe again. When you see time as life itself, You stop treating it carelessly. You begin to protect it, honor it, and spend it on what matters most. Don't spend your time. Invest it. I often remind people, because when you invest your time in growth, healing, and purpose, it multiplies. It gives you returns in joy, in clarity, in freedom. But when you spend your time on distraction, it disappears and takes your dreams with it. The mindset of freedom also demands courage. Reflection will show you truths you'd rather avoid, a relationship you've outgrown, a habit that's stealing your focus, a dream you've been too afraid to chase. Without courage, you'll see the truth and still do nothing. With courage, you'll see the truth and act anyway. And here's the shift. You stop asking, what's the safest way to live? And you start asking, what's the most meaningful way to live? Safety seeks comfort. Meaning seeks growth. Safety keeps you stuck. Meaning sets you free. Don't let comfort cost you your calling. I remind myself whenever fear tries to pull me back. Because comfort is expensive, it charges you your purpose in exchange for temporary ease. And once you realize that, you'll never want to pay that price again. The mindset of growth also means redefining failure. Most people avoid reflection because they fear seeing their failures. But failure is not the opposite of success, it's the blueprint for it. Every mistake you face with honesty becomes a stepping stone. Every heartbreak you reflect on with courage becomes a lesson in love. Every wasted day you acknowledge with humility becomes fuel for better days ahead. The final shift in this mindset is presence. Too many of us waste years because we're living in the past or waiting for the future. Reflection is not about dwelling yesterday, it's about designing tomorrow by living today with intention. When you are present, time expands. You notice more. You live deeper. You waste less. Imagine this: you wake up 1 year from now. You've practiced reflection daily, but not just mechanically. You've paired it with the mindset of growth and freedom. You've let go of the myths. You've broken the patterns, and you've lived with courage. What does your life look like? You're no longer replaying old heartbreaks. You've healed and opened your heart again. You're no longer drowning in distractions. You've built focus and discipline. You're no longer wandering aimlessly. You've aligned your days with purpose. That's not fantasy. That's the life waiting on the other side of this mindset. A life where you no longer hand your time to fear, comfort, or distraction. A life where you invest every moment into growth, love, and meaning. So here's the question you need to carry with you. If your minutes are your life, how much of your life are you willing to waste? Because the habit of reflection will show you the truth. But only this mindset will set you free. Your comfort zone is costing you years. Your distractions are costing you dreams. Your hesitation is costing you life. But with reflection, courage, and the right mindset, you can break the cycle. You can reclaim your time. You can step into freedom. Your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. Steve Jobs once said, and I'll add this, don't waste it living half of yours. Your minutes are your life. Protect them. Honor them. Live them. And watch how the years you once thought were lost transform into the life you always knew was possible.